emphasize that people should not be allergic to the word state and think it's socialism or it's communism and so on. You have to look at the concept and see what it's going to do. Now call it whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
Publicly owned bank or People's Bank or whatever it is. The word is not, the name is not important. The procedure, the concept is important. And that bank should serve the economy of the state. Now, for instance, money should be just like air and water, one of the things that should be available to everybody. Now, I understand some people are not credit-worthy, but they are not, it's not because they are bad people. If they do not know, they grew up in slums and they never learned what credit is, and all they learned is how to find the next piece of bread somewhere. They don't know if you give them the money, they don't know that they have to return it. So we have to educate this group of people, but not to make a criminal out of them.
Don't you think the other thing, Farid, is that the average person doesn't know how the bank works? In other words, the bank, for every $100 that you borrow, it can loan out 10 to 12 times that amount.
That's correct.
It's just wild. So basically, they're creating money out of thin air, and they're loaning money that isn't even there.
Yeah.
I mean, that is so powerful to get.
And if somebody wants to understand that, they should read Ellyn Browns, The Web of Debt, and they will read it. It's a little bit thick book, but every bit of it is entertaining, and yet it tells you the entire story. And people should read that, and they will understand what's really happening. They are enslaving the American people, and it's no need for it without realizing that you cannot make money out of slaves. You can make money out of rich people. You can have, if a society is prosperous, you can make more money with them than you have a society which is loaded with poverty. It is like if you have a horse, it is you have fed it very well, it will run for you. You can win the race. But if you have not fed a horse and it's a meager and he hardly can stand on his feet, how can you win a race with that?
Well, maybe it's not about winning for the people that are doing this. Maybe it's just about controlling the population and directing their attention and where their mindset is. People say, oh, it's always about the money. It's not always about the money. A lot of times it's about the money. A lot of times it's just about controlling populations, controlling mindsets, controlling thinking, controlling consciousness, not letting consciousness flourish, not letting opportunity flourish. And that is the other part of this difficulty.
But even so, I would want to control a person who is strong. I want to control a person who is intelligent. I want to control a person who is rich. I don't want to control a person that was my motive. I don't want to control a person who is laying dead on the street, and I don't want to control a person who is living under the bridge. I want to help these people.
I totally understand. You remind me of the Muhammad Yunus of banking in the United States, along with you and Ellyn Browns. Are you going to go ahead and start the Bank of Florida, whether or not you happen to win for governor?
You see, if I don't win, still I'm going to pursue the idea. I'm going to give lectures. I'm going to go to the colleges, to the corporate America, tell them, wake up, people. You will be better off by doing this thing than what you are doing at present time. Everybody go look at America. Go outside. Look at their stocks. Look at their inventory. Everywhere you see poverty, we are heading towards that. Go to car dealership in your neighborhood and see what it was. 2-3 years ago, loaded with cars, and go and see today. You hardly find a car there. You go to a restaurant, you see, you used to get a bigger portion. Now you get a lesser, which I have nothing against that, but they are doing it because they are trying to save it, because they cannot increase the price of the food.
Right.
And then go to the grocery store. See, there used to be plenty of foods everywhere. Now you see 5 pieces of tomato there and 2 romaine salad. And this is, where are we heading? Nobody sees that. Go to Wilshire Boulevard. You are in California. One time, 2-3 years ago, you could not find anything. Now it's empty. It's a ghost town. And this is happening everywhere in the United States. I drive throughout Florida, and I see everywhere signed for lease, for lease, for lease. And another thing I would like to mention also, that the landlords, they should not throw out their tenant if they cannot pay the rent. They should work with them, because every time they throw their tenant out of their property, they are not only...
It's a cascading effect, really.
They are not only compounding the problem, creating more unemployment, but also eventually, if the economy gets worse and they cannot pay the property taxes and they cannot pay the mortgages, they are going to lose their property.
I can't tell you how many people I know that are losing their homes.
Yeah.
It's really sad. Friends of mine, associates of mine. And interesting, I went to book a ticket to London and noticed that it was 4 times as much money as the last time I went out of the country. Close to $1,200 to fly Virgin to London from LA. Yeah. And it used to be like $325 to $400 a couple of years ago. Unbelievable.
Yeah, what is that? What is that? That is what I'm talking about, the cost. The global warming is not going to destroy America.
Not at all.
Not going to
particularly since
America.
It's cooling.
The terrorism is not going to destroy America. Cost is going to destroy America, and it's doing it right now, and nobody realizes it. The biggest enemy we have at present time is cost. We have to get rid of it. Now, I understand the Keynesians, they talk about deficit spending. This is wrong idea for today's economy. 30, 40, 50 years ago, when Mr. Keynes came with his general theory of interest and whatever, and unemployment and so on, at that time, there was no China, there was no India, there was no environmental problem, there was no terrorism, there was no Islamic renaissance, there was no countries like Afghanistan or Iran or those kind of things. So oil was cheap, raw material was cheap, environmental was problem didn't exist, and there was no other countries competing with us. So they could do that. Deficit spending, they can do that. But today, they cannot do it simply. So the only thing remains is that we have to cut the cost. First, we have to freeze the cost, then we have to reduce the cost, and wherever it's possible, eliminate it. And that is implementing solar energy system, which is a cost-reducing and cost-eliminating system. Then we have to get into interest. We have to create a system like 2%, 15 years, and those kind of things, as I described before, to reduce the cost of interest. And the insurance is another issue, that we should implement productivity into the concept so that we reduce the cost of it. Every American family worked 13 to 15 years of their life just to pay for interest, insurance, and energy.
Absurd. It's absurd, isn't it? It's so parasitic.
Yeah, and with this plan, we will be saving 10 years of their lives. 10 years of their lives for not working for these items.
I'm very excited about what you're doing and what you're about.
Thank you. I like people to read it, understand it, and support it. Now, they can go to my websites to learn more about the zero-cost economy. They can go to zerocosteconomy.com. You have to write it out, ZEROCOST economy.com. And to my gubernatorial website is KhavariForGovernor.com, KHAVARI forgovernor.com. And they read all about it. Even we show how the future clinic should look like, which is productivity orientated. And these are the things we show, and this is where America should be going. We will be creating millions and millions of jobs and well-paying jobs, and people should prosper. And in a nation that everybody is prospering, we are better off. Now, yes, a few months ago, we have a Proposition 6